Hare Krishna. Welcome to our channel Droplets of Nectar. Today we will be seeing the story of Ashad Ekadashi, also known as Padma Ekadashi, also known as Shayan Ekadashi. Today we will be seeing how we can observe this Ekadashi, what are the regulatory principles, who first observed it, and what was its reaction. Yudhishthira Maharaj once inquired to Krishna, O Keshava, what is the name of Ekadashi that falls on the light fortnight of the month of Ashad, June, July? Who is the worshipable deity for this auspicious day? And what is the process for observing this Ekadashi? Krishna then reminded was of the famous story of Lord Brahma, where Narada also inquired the same question to Brahma. Krishna said, O caretaker of this earthly planet, I shall gladly tell you a wonderful history that Lord Brahma once narrated to his son Narada. One day Narada asked to his father, what is the name of Ekadashi that comes during the light part of the month of Ashad? Kindly tell me, how shall I observe this Ekadashi? Lord Brahma replied, O great orator, O best of all sages, O purest devotee of Lord Vishnu, your question is very excellent. There is nothing better than Ekadashi, the day of Lord Hari, in this or any other world. Following Ekadashi, it nullifies even the worst of sins if observed properly. For this reason, I shall tell you about Ashad Shukla Ekadashi. Fasting on this Ekadashi purifies one of all sins and fulfills all one's desire. Therefore, whoever neglects to observe this sacred fast day is a good candidate for entering hell. If one wants to avoid hell, one should surely fast on this Ekadashi, Ashad Shukla Ekadashi. It is also famous as Padma Ekadashi. Just to please Rishikesh, the master of the senses, we should fast on this Ekadashi. O Narada, I will tell you a story. Once there was a king known as Mandhata in the Sun dynasty. Because he was very truthful, he was appointed emperor, and he took care of his subjects very religiously, as like his own children. On account of his piety and great religiosity, there was no pestilence, drought, or diseases of any kind in his kingdom. All his subjects were not only free of all kinds of disturbances, but also very wealthy. The king's own treasure was very free of any ill-gotten money, and thus he ruled happily for many years. Once, however, because of some sin in his kingdom, there was a drought for 3 years. The subjects found themselves very much disturbed, and they requested to the king that, O king, O beloved king, you always see to our welfare. So we humbly beg your assistance now. Everyone and everything in this world needs water. Without water, almost everything is rendered useless or dead. Vedas call water as Nara, and because Supreme Personality of Godhead sleeps upon water, his name is Narayan. God makes his own abode on water and takes his rest there. In his form as the cloud, Supreme Personality of Godhead is present throughout the sky and pours forth rain, from which grow the grains that maintains every living entity. O king, the severe drought has caused a great lack of valuable grains. Thus we are all miserable and the population is decreasing. O best of ruler on earth, please find some solution to this problem and bring us peace and prosperity once again. The king replied, Yes, you speak the truth. Grains are like Brahman, the absolute truth, who lives within grains and thereby sustains all beings. Indeed, it is because of grains that the entire world lives. Now, why is there a terrible drought in our kingdom? The Holy Scriptures discuss this subject very thoroughly. If a king is irreligious, both he and his subjects suffer. I have meditated upon the cause of our problem for a long time, but after searching my past and present character, I can honestly say that I find no sin. Still, for the good of all your subjects, I shall try to remedy the situation. Thinking in this way, King Mandhata assembled his army and entourage, paid his obeisances to me, and then entered the forest. He wandered here and there, seeking great sages in their ashrams and inquiring about how to resolve the crisis in his kingdom. At last, he came upon the sage Angira Muni. Angira Muni was seated in his ashram, in his hermitage, like a second Brahma. King Mandhata very humbly begged at his lotus feet and then joined his palms and prayed for his blessings. Saintly king blessed King with sacred mantras, and afterwards sage asked King Mandhata, "How are your kingdom? How did you came here?" Then king said, "O great sage, I am ruling and maintaining my kingdom while following the Vedic injunctions, and thus I do not know the reason for the drought. To solve this mystery, I have approached you for help. Please help me relieve the suffering of my subjects." Angira Rishi said to the king, "The present age, Satyuga, is the best of all ages. For in this age, Dharma stands on all four legs. In this age, everyone respects Brahmanas as a topmost member of the society. Also, everyone fulfills his occupational duties. But there is a Shudra in your kingdom who is reading the scriptures and unlawfully performing the rites of austerity and penance. So, O Lion among kings, his death will bring auspiciousness to your kingdom." But the king humbly replied, O sage, how can I kill an offenseless performer of austerity? Please give me some spiritual solution." Then the great sage Angira replied, "To perform and observe this fasting on the Ekadashi that occurs during light fortnight of month of Ashad. This auspicious day is named as Padma Ekadashi. O king, with all your relatives and subjects, observe this sacred Ekadashi fast and all your problems will be solved." Upon hearing these words, king offered his obeisances and returned to his palace. When Padma Ekadashi arrived, King Mandhata assembled all the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras in his kingdom and instructed them to strictly observe this important fast. After they had observed, the rains fell just as the sage has predicted, and in the due course of time there were abundant crops, and slowly all the rains problem drought were solved, and the richness of that kingdom was again established. Therefore, O Narada, everyone should observe the Ekadashi fast very strictly, for it bestows all kinds of happiness and ultimate liberation for the faithful devotee. Lord Krishna concluded, "My dear Yudhishthir, Padma Ekadashi is so powerful that one who simply reads or hears its glories becomes completely sinless. O Pandav, one who wishes to please me should strictly observe this Ekadashi. It is also known as Devshayani Ekadashi. O Lion among kings, whoever wants liberation should regularly observe a fast on this Ekadashi, which is also the day when the Chaturmas fast begins." Hare Krishna. How you like this story of Ashad Ekadashi, please write in the comment section below. Hare Krishna.